Hi there, it's David O here in Karmiel. Sunny, brisk, I would say today. They tell me it's around 12 degrees. My son tells me, still in Canada, that I've lost the memory of what real winter is. Perhaps it's true. So we're at Parsha VAYIGASH. It's the culmination of the Joseph and his brothers' stories. When Joseph reveals himself, I am Joseph, who you sold to Egypt, to his brothers. There's shock, there's awe, there's drama, and before the end of the Parsha, Yaakov and the whole family find themselves in Mitzrayim. They're given Goshen. It's a tremendously dramatic story. Rabbi Sachs, Jonathan Sachs, in his Parsha sheets today, actually discusses exactly a view that I've had for about 10 years about Joseph and his father, why Joseph never spoke with his father and let him know that he was alive and well and prospering in Egypt. Worth reading if you get the opportunity, very important. Because of that, I'm going to move to an area that people rarely talk about, but is consistent. Please keep in mind that I've referred to Joseph as the most feared person in the entire Torah, more so than Esav, more so than Goliath, more so than Pharaoh, right? Everybody who meets Joseph has a fear of him. His brothers, his father, all of Egypt, Pharaoh. Imagine Joseph, this young Semite in the court of Pharaoh. Who does he marry? He marries the daughter of the man called the butcher, but he's really the executioner of Egypt, the Lord High Executioner, right? He marries his daughter. He was arrested by Potiphar for attempting to molest Potiphar's wife, and yet Potiphar gives his daughter. And not only that, Joseph accepts him. It's a very curious story if you think about it for a minute. What's it about? Well, Joseph is number 2 now. He is higher than the Lord High Executioner. If I were Potiphar, when Joseph becomes the Viceroy of Egypt, I'd be looking for the first train out of Cairo, I have to tell you, because he might take his revenge on me. But instead, Joseph, the clever and smart Joseph, marries his daughter and maybe whispers in his ear, I know there are constantly intrigues against me in the court. Your job is to fill me in on those. And consequently, I will take good care of your daughter and your house. You have nothing to fear. This is the ultimate politician. You know, Medici could have learned a great deal from Joseph, the prince. His father comes and he organizes everything for his father and for the family to have the best of everything. And of course, the dreams of Pharaoh come true. And Joseph, seeing a disaster as an opportunity, year after year after year, takes a hold of the Egyptian people, the agricultural Egyptians, right? And year after year after year, they become slaves until the end of the Parsha. Joseph has made them all slaves to him and through him to Pharaoh. And so now there is one central power in Egypt. There's no division. There are no demi-lords. There are no barons. Or everything except the priesthood is in the palm of Joseph and through him Pharaoh. The whole nation is a nation of slaves at this point. And it's Joseph who engineered it through the famine. Now, to make sure that the people don't rise up, he moves the people of the north to the south, the people of the south to the east, the people of the east to the west, people of the west to the east, right? Muddling up the nations within Egypt so that they don't have any kind of continuity amongst themselves. There's no chance for rebellion. There's one central power. Now, the downside of this, of course, is that that one central power, after Joseph is dead, is able to enslave the Jews as well. But maybe that was God's plan. And through that, eventually, the release of the Jews, and the story goes on until they receive the Torah at Sinai and capture the land. And so it'll be. But keep in mind, this person, this Joseph, right? Joseph HaTzadik, right, is more than a tough cookie. He knows how to use ruthlessness when it's required, and he knows how to use chesed when it's required. And his brothers, to the day of their death, fear him, or the day of his death, fear him, right? Because remember what their uncle said. Esau said, when my father dies, Yitzchak, right, I will kill Jacob. And now is coming time for the passing of Yaakov. What will Joseph do to his brothers when Papa's not around? They have a lot to be concerned about. We'll talk more about this as we move further into the final days of Yaakov and into the enslavement. So this is David Ostriker wishing you a fascinating and inspiring Shabbos from Karmiel. Shabbat Shalom. Be well. Look forward to seeing you soon.